Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Good evening. So as you all know, today we have got guest speakers from Legal Cart who are going to speak about a few things. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming back to our program, there is a saying that justice delayed. Justice delayed is justice denied. This phrase implies that if justice is not carried out right away, timely, then even if it is carried out later, it is not really justice because there was a period of time when there was a lack of justice. I agree that people are losing faith in the judiciary. It is mainly because of long delays at all points, the reluctance of all the judges to give the judgments, and the inevitable adjournments. So I welcome you all to today's session, and it is our pleasure to introduce this organization to you, which is known as Legal Cart, which has been operating in the legal advisory market. They are convinced that the three basic pillars of their service, that is professionality, effectiveness, and complexity of solutions for their clients, are fundaments for any legal advisory. Legal Cart's vision is to form legal access democratic by making it neutral and affordable. They are creating world's first preventive legal care ecosystem for all, and their mission is zero litigation. Every citizen should be empowered to grasp its legal rights and responsibilities. So, powered with smart match technology, Legal Cart's 24/7 authentic and confidential legal consultation, smart documents with impeccable review and drafting. Legal Cart is striving to bring down the litigations within the country to zero, which can push the economy on a faster track. A made in India and made for India company, Legal Cart is a team of passionate professionals, engineers, and legal experts who visualize in building new technologies for the longer term of legal access in India. So from Legal Cart, I welcome Ms. Menika Kohli and Advocate Milind Awasthi. So to tell you about Menika Kohli, she is the AVP Operations, postgraduate from SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. She has 10 years of experience in HR, admin, and operations. She was handling India operations for a US-based pet relocation company in Mumbai. 2 years back, she moved back to Gurgaon to join Legal Cart as the AVP Operations. She is responsible for sales and operations pan-India, providing legal support to clients and managing lawyers and clients pan-India. She also takes care of HR-related requirements in the company. Coming to Advocate Milind Awasthi, he is a law graduate from Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi. He holds 3 years of experience and is one of the long-term empaneled lawyers of Legal Cart. Additional standing counsel and representing municipal corporation and government departments in legal disputes in Delhi and NCR region. He has a law firm which deals in property law, contractual violations, consumer cases, arbitration, motor accident claims, banking, and insurance disputes. So with that, I would like to welcome both Menika as well as Advocate Awasthi to our Mo TV. So Menika, welcome, and over to you.
Thank you, Ritu. Thanks for the introduction, and hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be amongst all of you. And so about Legal Cart, we are a legal tech company, and we provide legal support all over India. And whatever your matter related to your family, any kind of social matter, pension related matter, anything, we can provide you support regarding any matter. You require consultation, you require advice. So we have lawyers to address all of these issues for you. Now coming to legal, people are always very apprehensive about taking any kind of legal step or any kind of legal action. इसी डर से कि litigation के डर से कि ये केस तो सालों साल चलेगा. Even friends and family always suggest that don't get into this legal thing. So our aim is to get down this percentage of litigation by providing you support at the very beginning. So at the initial stage, so that going forward you don't fall into any kind of you don't have to get into any kind of litigation. So talking about our senior citizens, since we are here at IMOHA, so I don't know if how many are aware that there is the Senior Citizens Act which safeguards your rights in the Constitution. So today basically our topic is related to property. Anything related to property, any kind of documentation related to property, like it can be either will or your transfer of property, partition of property, anything related to your property matter. So Advocate Milind would be the person who would discuss about the act and the documentation that goes in the property matters. And he's been with Legal Cart since the inception. And over to you, Milind, for the discussion over the act and the property related documents.
Yeah, thank you, and good afternoon to all. Yes. So the thing is, highlighting Ms. Batra's suggestion that we have a very delayed system of legal justice in India. There are some of the acts, okay, which particularly falls within this falls outside this domain, which are speedy, easy, and very cost effective. So highlighting today's topic, this is one of the legislation, the central legislation, which is applicable all over the India. So yes, the act is Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act. Okay, so this legislation was passed by Ministry of Welfare, Social Welfare and Justice in the year 2007. And basically, what the purpose of this act is, that yes, we all know that senior citizens and parents to some extent are not that do not have that much of access to the litigation without any other support. So particularly, this legislation was aiming at that this act or this legislation or any of the problem of the senior citizen is redressed without the help of advocate, or they can also file an application themselves. So yes, considering those difficulties that our Indian legal system faces, this act was the highlight. So yes, coming back to the act, so we'll start step by step. We'll discuss some provisions of this act. I can explain it to you how it can be done, what are the benefits, what are the accessibility, how better this act is in terms of other in comparison of other acts, or how useful it is for you, and how your safety, how your medical benefits, how your
Please a little louder.
Hello.
Please a little louder.
One second. Is it better now? Hello.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay. One second. Okay. So yes, let's start with the act. So first of all, this act basically encompasses everybody on whom the senior citizen can either be dependent, be it monetarily, or be it by care, be it by medical assistance, be it by any other thing that our senior citizens or parents are actually in requirement of. So yes, now the liability, not just the liability, also the duty has been enforced on the children. And by the definition of children as per this act, it does not only include your children, or it is also going to include your grandchildren as well. okay, and be it son or be it daughter. So both of them have an equal responsibility of maintaining their parents. Now the second thing is the maintenance in respect of this act has a very wide scope. And by wide scope, I mean that it could either be food, it could either be clothing, it could either be medical assistance, or any particular treatment that our senior citizens are required, okay, and they require. So any of the parameters, okay, in which a senior citizen falls is called a maintenance. So based on any of the requirement that they are having, this act can be enforced. Okay. So the thing, so yeah, and the other best add on to this act is that not only the biological parents are involved, also the stepfather, non-biological stepmother are also shown as a dependent in the Senior Citizen Act. So that's a very uniqueness or newness of this act, that not only the parent, that is the biological parent, but also stepfather, stepmother are also a dependent or also a parent or also a senior citizen as per this act. And this dependency on the property, and by the property we mean any movable or immovable or tangible or intangible. So yes, property has also a wider scope. Now the thing is, how do we define a senior citizen as per this act? Leaving aside the parent, the definition of senior citizen means that any person who has attained the age of 60 years can invoke this act for the welfare and maintenance of that particular concerned person. Yes. Okay. So the section, however, speaks that there's no requirement of any advocate, for which any so that no senior citizen is dependent on any legal help. They can simply move to the nearest tribunal which has been constituted under this act, and they can directly file an application over there for maintenance. And yes, that will be allowed, and there's no legal requirement of any advocate or anybody. Or even if you cannot go and file an application, you can directly authorize anybody, any neighbor, any person who's in your reach. So that person can directly go and file an application on your behalf. Okay. So yes. Now the
your
major
video
thing
has turned off, Advocate Awasthi.
One second.
Yeah.
Yes. So the thing is, how a maintenance is decided, and by maintenance what do we mean? So by maintenance, and so how it is decided is, it is decided by the necessity of that concerned person who has approached the tribunal. Okay. So yes, it can depend on your financial need, it can depend on your medical needs, it can depend on XYZ needs that a person is going to have. Irrespective, so that is going to be an assessment for the tribunal as well, because they'll have to ascertain as to what particular requirements are you having and how much maintenance do you require. And the second thing is, this application can be filed within the jurisdiction of where the senior citizen is residing, or even where their children are residing. So yes, two options are given to the senior citizen, that okay, if you want it to be enforced directly against your children, you can directly file it into the court which has the jurisdiction and where your children are living. Okay. And the other best thing about this act is, it not only creates a duty upon your children. If a senior citizen is dependent on his relative, let's say there's a case where not the first class legal heir are there, but some second class legal heir are there as per Hindu Succession Act. And if the senior citizen is dependent on that particular relative, and that relative is going to inherit a property after his or her demise from that senior citizen, then even the tribunal can hold that relative as well liable for the maintenance of that senior citizen, be it for medical terms, be it for anything. So yes, not just the children, not just the grandchildren, but also the relatives. If the relatives are yes anticipating some kind of inheritance from that person, yes. So yes, so relatives can also be held liable for this particular thing. Now, the best part about this act is, yes, there's a provision which says, okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say a person has gifted a senior citizen, or a parent has gifted his or her property to her children. Okay, and that gift was made in respect that, okay, yes, that person's liability or duty is to take care of me. Okay, so in that particular case, yes, the court can even reverse that gift or any kind of transfer of the property which took place. So yes, that is a very essential section or essential part of this act, which says that yes, if the property was given to, let's say, a children, or let's say a particular child, or let's say son, daughter, anybody, grandson, granddaughter, any relative, and yes, now they are not keeping up with the medical requirements of that particular citizen, senior citizen, or the parent. So yes, they can also file an application to the court that yes, such and such such and such gift deed or such and such transfer was made to so and so, and as on so and so date, and yes, now this person is refraining himself in maintaining me, not just maintaining me in terms of be it clothing, food, anything, even it can be for medical treatment. So if that person can, yes, if that person thinks that, okay, I now have the complete ownership of the property, that is a very wrong notion. A simple reverse transaction can take place under this act, but the only limitation to this is that transfer should have been done after passing of this act. So that is 2007. So any transaction that was made after 2007 under this act, or maybe just a simple transfer after 2007, and that particular concerned citizen or senior citizen or parent reaches to the tribunal and says कि ठीक है सर, हमारा तो ये अब ध्यान नहीं रख रहे हैं, so we want this property to be reverted back, and yes, it will be reverted back if it is a gift or if it is a transfer without any sale consideration. In case it is a sale consideration, then no, then property cannot be transferred, because now that becomes a contract. Gift is not a contract. Gift is something out of love, devotion, or care. People gift, and for that they don't receive the consideration. It's a bilateral, it's a unilateral transaction. A person doesn't have to pay a consideration to receive a property. If that particular transaction falls under this act, then yes, any senior citizen can apply for a revert for this property, and yes, they can show that now I do not have any source of earning, and I'll be dependent on this property, and this property was transferred to so and so or after 2007, after passing of this act. And yes, the tribunal can rightly hold a valid revert of this property, and that property will be reverted, ownership will change, and no opinion of that particular concerned person who is in ownership of that property will be taken or considered by the court. So yes, it's a very effective legislation in these two ways, that A, you don't require a lawyer for that purpose, and B, this act section or this measure of reverting a property, which you can use it for your beneficial purpose, or any of the requirement, if you think fit. Yes. So coming back to the other sections, which are far more beneficial than other legislation who are active in our country. So yes, even if you cannot go and make a representation in the court, okay, if the senior citizen cannot go, or even if there is no relative or no near and dear who is available with them, and they still want to reach out to particular tribunal for this thing, and nobody is available for them, they can call the maintenance officer. Now, what is the role of maintenance officer is that yes, maintenance officers are deputed by the state under this act for the welfare, for the execution of this act. So yes, you can directly reach out to this maintenance officers. The list and contact numbers of those maintenance officers are readily available on Delhi government site. Yes, you can reach out to them. You can make a representation, and yes, they can in turn get your documents scrutinized and processed with the application and everything. And the only thing about this is that there's no cost which a senior citizen is going to incur in this, or a parent. So this is by far the best legislation for any senior citizen, for any parent who faces such kind of disputes or such kinds of refrainment from their children. That yes, if they are not maintaining, then this act is for you. And I've explained it to you as to how you have to reach out, how you have to apply, how there are going to be cost upon the children if they are not actively participating in that proceeding. And the best part of this is the application for maintenance. Let's say the application for maintenance was filed on 1st January 2021. Okay, and the maintenance is scrutinized and decided on 1st of Feb 2021. Then even in this particular case, the interim maintenance will start from 1st January 2021 till the decision comes from the tribunal. And if such maintenance is augmented, then the actual maintenance will be augmented. And if such maintenance is decreased, which I have actually never seen, because interim maintenance is very notional one, which is very a normal one. So yes, it's somewhere around 3,000 to 5,000 or maybe 5,000 to 10,000. Yes, they fix an interim maintenance. So yes, the immediate expenditure on medicines, immediate expenditure, clothing, food, etc., could be meted out. So yes, after the final maintenance is decided, then actual maintenance is revoked if it is on a lesser side and it is augmented to the final maintenance. Yes, and the proceeding goes on. Okay. Now the other thing is, this act can also be used for vacation of property. If you could simply file an application and say that yes, so and so, be my relative, be my son, be my daughter-in-law, or XYZ relative is staying in my property, which was entrusted to them out of love, care and affection, then yes, that property can be vacated if you could prove to the court that this son, this daughter-in-law, this any XYZ relative of yours is not maintaining you or is not maintaining their parent. If the parents are not self-sufficient, then definitely in that case, the court can even ask them to vacate the property and the property be handed over to the senior citizen, and that senior citizen can then use it for other purposes like rent or some mean profit, if you could derive meanwhile any rental income that could be beneficial for your maintenance. Okay, so this was the procedural aspect, legal aspect of how this act works, in terms of cost, in terms of relief, in terms of availability, in terms of jurisdiction, in terms of who can be made party to this, and the other relief as well, like no requirement of legal representation. So this act simultaneously enforces a liability on the state as well, and that liability is in terms of facilities at the government hospital. So yes, this act also provides additional duty on the state administrative branch of the state, that yes, you have to make new queues for the senior citizens. You must have seen all those different queues. So prior to this act, that was a general act that was nowhere defined. But after this act, if a queue is added, if a special relief is provided at the hospital, or be it different facility for treatment separately for any senior citizens. So yes, that is under this act. Okay. So yes, it's a duty and obviously the moral obligation towards the society for inclusion of all these treatments, be it any, and they also need to undertake research activities. They can make a survey of how many senior citizens are living in that particular area. If they are facing any problem? Yes, there is always a procedural lapse, and government don't do it that purposefully. But yes, it's always on the paper. But yes, and it can be enforced. There are always specialized dedicated cell at the police stations. You can literally dial 100 and tell them that yes, this is a senior citizen emergency call, and they have a separate server for that. Any separate inquiry can be registered on that, and they will also help you with the legal requirement. They have their panel advocates, which obviously won't come to the tribunal, but yes, they can help you in case there is an XYZ reason. Okay, maybe some dispute with the legal layers, or maybe some dispute with the relatives in your property, or in terms of any relief that you wish. Okay. Now, coming to the criminal aspect of this. Yes, this act is not only a civil act but also a criminal act. It's a dual legislation. It also provides for a fine. That yes, if the tribunal can make a sentence that person with some fine, that yes, fine can be to an extent of 5,000 rupees. But also, the best part of this legislation is that there is also a 3 months of imprisonment. If the tribunal finds that there was a sheer delay or sheer ill treatment on part of the children, then yes, there's also an imprisonment which can extend up to 3 months. And these tribunals are fast track tribunals. Okay, so they have to dispose the application within 90 days. They have to dispose the complete case. So in Delhi, these tribunals are working at a very rapid speed, and yes, they have an effective disposal as well. And for the appeals, you can reach out to appellate tribunal, which in Delhi is at Shamnath Marg, DC office. But anyway, the other tribunals at the original jurisdiction are within each district, and currently that jurisdiction is being exercised by local SDMs. So yes, those cases are being heard at the SDM offices. Okay, so now we have understood about the fine, we have understood about the penalties. Now the thing is, what if the judgment has been given in favor of senior citizen and there is delay in execution? So otherwise, if this had been a civil court, why this act created a special tribunal or a special court for this purpose was for this only, that in case if this had been a civil court, you should have filed a case, then you should have won the case, then you have gone for the execution. But yes, this execution is actually provided by the same court. So yes, you do not have to reach out to any other court, you do not have to reach out to any authority, you do not have to reach out to anybody else. This particular tribunal only will get the order of maintenance executed. And by execution I mean that, be it for attachment of salary, in let's say this person A who's dependent on his son person B, and an order of maintenance has been made by the tribunal. Okay, and now this person is absconding, and now he's not showing up at the tribunal, nor he's showing up at his home when the police officers are reaching out to him. So what the tribunal can do is the SDM can directly attach his property, and now by that property I mean immovable and movable assets both, be it any immovable property, or be it his salary as well. When attachment order can be done, in terms of his salary account as well. and for that specific thing warrants can be issued. And the other thing is, as if the order of maintenance is made, and even if it is delayed by a single day in execution, then an interest as per the commercial lending rates plus 2% will be given, will be added on to this maintenance. So yes, as far as my opinion, and I think, or if the yardstick of every act or legislation is considered in this country, this is by far the best act in terms of execution, in terms of cost effectiveness, in terms of timely disposal, in terms of accessibility of justice, in terms of the wider scope as well. Because maintenance does not only mean monetary maintenance. It can be of anything. Even if a children is denying a medical treatment to his or her parent, yes, this act is for you. Be it for any relative, be it for anybody else who is concerned and who you think is the person upon whom you could be financially dependent, or by any other means be dependent on him. Yes, as far as my opinion is concerned, this act is a very good legislation, very beneficial legislation on the part of union government. So yes. Okay. Before starting the next topic, if I can have your questions if you have.
Yes, any kind of information you need, please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Bhamri.
अवस्थी जी, इतना आसान नहीं है जितना आप कह रहे हैं ना, एप्लीकेशन दे के और ये. One of my friend is a victim. He has spent lakhs of rupees in getting vacated. Daughter-in-law has gone to the High Court in Haryana. This is a case of Gurgaon, and got the stay twice.
Okay, but sir, must have been dependent on the should have been dependent on the facts. The facts must have been different in that particular case.
No.
Or sir, facts in terms of the application, what the senior citizen has
it was filed as a Senior Citizen Act, sir, by the advocate.
No, sir.
And the DC. Listen.
Yes,
I am being the coordinator of senior citizen in Gurgaon. We were personally taking the case, and the DC ordered for vacation. And finally, before the execution was to be done, she smartly went to the daughter-in-law, smartly went to the High Court in Haryana, that is Chandigarh, and got the stay.
Okay.
And this man has gone for vacation. Again, she got again the stay order.
Okay, sir, I can surely tell you something, that not even a single legislation is perfect in this country. She might have used some anomalies from this act, or might be some kind of nexus with the other person. But yes, to some extent, reliefs are given under this act. So I am not saying that this particular case which you are suggesting got twisted in this manner, but yes, to some extent the other reliefs are given as well. So,
sir, this has been discussed with the Supreme Court advocate who came on the same platform, and he appreciated. He said, "Let the corona go on, and then I'll take this case."
Sir, definitely what I said was that she must have used some anomalies, be it in the act or be it in the application that the concerned senior citizen filed.
नहीं सर, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, आप कह रहे हैं ना कि एप्लीकेशन दे के वहाँ चले जाओ, ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. वहाँ पे एप्लीकेशन के अलावा there are a lot of hassles, and it is very difficult for the senior person to go again and again, and lot of money is. We have seen this case because I am involved. I was a coordinator, so I had to take the case personally, as well as he is my friend, as well as he is a senior citizen of our federation.
Okay.
But nothing happened till date. It is more than 3 years.
Okay.
Sir, we agree.
So
now, that's the thing is that a lot depends in the hands of the lawyer. लॉयर चाहे तो केस को सालों साल चला सकते हैं, लॉयर चाहे तो कैन इजीली गेट यू आउट ऑफ द मैटर.
हाँ, तो वो बताइए ना कैसे उसमें से निकले.
सर, यही तो है ना चीज कि दैट इज व्हाई लीगल कार्ट इज हियर. लीगल कार्ट इज हियर टू हेल्प यू बिकॉज वी हैव ऑल एम्पैनल्ड लॉयर्स हु आर वेरीफाइड बाय लीगल कार्ट. एंड देयर इज नो, इसमें कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं होगी कि आपको कुछ पता ही नहीं होगा कि लॉयर क्या कर रहा है. Lawyer is at times it so happens that the lawyer, yes, is playing games or is not doing the thing in the right way. So you can always come to Legal Cart for advice and for any kind of legal support. So हमसे जितना बन सकेगा we will help you.
Oh, so nice of you, but
And-
already जो एक्सपर्ट आप जैसे आप एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, इसी तरह जो लीगल यहाँ का टॉप का एडवाइजर है वकील, वो किया गया आफ्टर पहले हरेसमेंट होती थी, फिर मैंने ही वकील चेंज कराया, बहुत अच्छा वकील मिल गया, सब कुछ हो गया, लेकिन शी स्मार्टली वेंट टू द हाई कोर्ट अगेन एंड गॉट द स्टे.
Right, Mr. Bhamri, I'm sure there are a lot of loopholes which on a personal level only, I think once we speak to the lawyers that we will be able to find out exactly what it
yes,
is all
and-
about. So,
Correct. And yes, ma'am. And moreover, sir, Mr. Bhamri, another concern is we can surely help you if you could supply the that particular application, the order.
Certainly.
Yes, sir. And because, sir, see, the thing is, on both the sides, it is the lawyer only. The other lawyer is using some kind of anomalies, some kind of discrepancies, and the other lawyer on the other side can also use it for his or her benefit. तो वो तो सर हमारा ही काम है, हम उसमें से कुछ ना कुछ निकाल लेंगे. एक बार फैक्ट्स अगर आप सप्लाई कर देंगे, तो यस डेफिनेटली इफ अ लीगल ओपिनियन कैन बी सेंड टू यू एंड वी कैन हैव अ डिस्कशन विद यू. एब्सोल्युटली.
Can you give the telephone number of Legal
so would
Cart?
you,
How do we reach you?
yeah, they can share the number on the chat. If Menka ji, if you could do that.
Yes.
Or maybe
so
show it
I
on-
think, sir, we have a platform called Just Consultation, and you can always come on our website legalcart.com, and वहाँ पे आके आपको minutes purchase करने होंगे to talk to a lawyer, and you can always come for legal advice. We have options of sharing documents and then taking the advice as well. So you visit our website legalcart.com, and उसपे support number भी है, customer care number भी है. So you can always come on the platform, and we are available 24/7 for any kind of support.
Thank you.
Yes.
So Rashmi ji, you had a question, and Milan ji, after that, if you could just continue with the thing and then
Yes.
take the question answers at the end.
All right, ma'am. All right. I'll start with the topic.
Rashmi ji will take your question after this then.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay. So yes, the concerned members. The other topic for the evening is what all are the documents that are concerned with the property or that are concerned with the transfer. So definitely this is not a very new topic to you, but yes, we'll discuss them broadly. So yes, starting with the first document, that is will. Okay. So yes, everybody must have been aware of how a will functions and how a will operates. So yes, the best part of the will is that for the senior citizens, that the services of registration within the jurisdiction where the person is residing are also available at the particular person's residence. So you can, when you are applying for the registration of the will, you can directly reach out to the registrar, pay a certain fees that is in your particular area. You can check that online, be it Delhi, be it Haryana, any other state, that fees information is available on the net, and based on that you can, the provision is section 29 of Registration Act 2930, where the services of registrar are provided, and that particular registrar will come to your home for registration of that document. So yes, that saves you the hassle. Moreover, that service is a far better services which could be possibly available at the time of this pandemic. So yes, this is a very good provision which can be used for registration of will and availing the services of the registrar at your home. Okay. Now let's discuss what are the components of the will, and on what parameters a will operate, and why it is better document than the other registered deeds, or maybe gift deed, or maybe relinquishment deed. Yes. So first of all, no stamp paper is required for any will. Okay. Apart from the no requirement of stamp paper, the other thing is it can be changed anytime. So let's say you will any property to, let's say, Mr. X. Okay, and after a period of, or maybe 5-6 years down the line, you think that this needs to be changed, or this should be given to somebody else. So that will can be changed accordingly, and a new will come and take its effective place in place of that particular existing document. Now the other part is the better component of the will is that there is no effective transfer. If a will is made right now, then the proper of let's say property X, then that property X is going to be with you. It's going to be for a peaceful possession. It's going to be for you for the time of ownership, for any time of ownership, till that time you are alive. Till that time you are alive, and the person will still be the owner. The will is only going to take place after the death of the executant. So yes, this is also a very essential or a very good component of the will. And the other part is this will can be for any movable or immovable asset. By immovable we can say properties. By movable we can say car, anything, bank accounts, even the shares, FDRs, any savings account in postal office, and anything which is tangible or intangible. Okay, so will can be for both the both such kind of properties. Now the thing is, why there's a difference between will and a gift, and why will is a better document than gift, in terms if you consider the property to be yours, and if you think that yes, till the time I'm alive, this property should be with me, and only after my demise the property should go on to my legal heirs. So for that, will is a better document, because gift takes place the same day it is signed and registered. It is registered. If you are signing a gift deed, and if you are getting it registered, yes, it is going to take place immediately, and the same can be mutated in the person's name, and it cannot be reversed. Only if it falls within this act, Senior Citizen Act. But apart from that, will takes place after the lifetime of the person, and you can impose n numbers of restrictions to the use of that property, or to the change in transfer of the property. You can say that, okay, this property will first go to my wife or my husband, and after his or her death, this property will go to my children, and it is going to be transferred in the same manner. It cannot jump the queues, it cannot jump the generation. So yes, but as far as the gift is concerned, gift is going to take place there and then. Once it is registered, it is a valid transfer. It is not a transfer like a sale deed or a sale of property, because gift doesn't involve the consideration, because you are gifting it to the loved ones. The only fact in this is that donor has to bear the stamp duty, and that stamp duty is of the exact amount of what it is used for the purpose of the other documents, let's say sale deed. So in case you are gifting anything, let's say a flat to your children, or to your grandchildren, then that is going to have a stamp duty of 4% if the donee is a female, and 6% if a donee is a male. Okay, so apart from the parameters of stamp duty and the date of effectiveness, the transaction is almost similar to a sale deed. Okay, now the other document that we could discuss is a POA, that is a power of attorney. Now the power of attorney can be broadly classified in two things, in two different attorneys, in two different documents, which is special power of attorney and general power of attorney. By special and general power of attorney, we mean that general power of attorney could be of multiple purposes. Let's say I have a property, and I wish that such property could be rented out, could be taken care of, could be and the revenue generated from this property be received from Mr. Y, whom I'm appointing my attorney holder, and he could send those consideration back to me. So yes, there are multiple sub transactions involved, or maybe the number of delegated tasks by the actual owner are more. So yes, in that particular case, it is going to be a general power of attorney. And if the power of attorney is for only one specific purpose, let's say you only wish that the POA holder he should only take care of the property, not put it on rent only for the maintenance. Or if you want it to be of very specific purpose, let's say you are appointing somebody to handle a litigation in respect of that property. So yes, there's going to be a SPA and not a GPA. So the thing is, if a purpose is a single purpose and only for one purpose, you are appointing that person who is named who is the POA holder. So that is going to be an SPA. And if the purposes are multiple, then it's going to be a general power of attorney. And the law of registration is going to be same for the document. Again, you can avail the facility of the registrar coming at your home if the person concerned is a senior citizen, or be infirm, or if he cannot come to the registrar office. Yes, so yes, they can avail the facility of registrar coming home. They can apply for that facility. They can pay the fee, and it can be done and dusted. Now, the other document that we could consider and discuss is relinquishment deed. So the relinquishment deed and how it is different from gift deed, how it is different from will, definitely not from POA. The thing is, relinquishment deed. I'll give an example. Let's say there are 4 legal heirs, and one of them, let's say there are 4 children to a parent, okay, and the parent dies. So all 4 of them inherit the property to an equal extent, that is 25%. Okay. Now the thing is, let's say A wants to buy the share of all the other 3 members. So instead of paying the stamp duty and sale purchase again, you can simply do a relinquishment deed. All 3 of them, that is all 3 remaining members of that particular property, can directly make a relinquishment deed, and relinquishment can only be done by the legal heirs, okay, who have actually inherited that property. So a relinquishment deed will be done that let's say Mr. B, C, and D are relinquishing their share in the name of Mr. A, and that A is going to become the complete owner, or the 100% owner of that property. And why relinquishment deed is a better document in case we are considering legal heirs, or we are considering within the blood relation, or even the legal heirs of some person. Why? Because A, stamp duty is not required. Only a basic fee is to be paid, and and it is a valid transfer as well. And after the registration of relinquishment deed is done, they can simply get it mutated in their name, and yes, it saves both time and money. So yes, okay. So these were the documents which are generally considered in terms of a sale purchase of a property, transfer of ownership, inheritance, or gifting of a property. So yes, in case you have any questions, you can let me know.
My question is कि अगर किसी ने बिल की हुई है और बिल जो है रजिस्टर्ड नहीं की है, तो क्या वो मान्य है नहीं है?
सर, अगर विल साइंड है और विटनेस्ड है, और अगर जो एग्जीक्यूटेंट हैं उनकी डेथ के बाद वो विल एक्चुअली एक रजिस्टर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट के बराबर ही माना जाएगा, क्योंकि सेक्शन 18 रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट ये कहता है कि द रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ अ विल इज ऑप्शनल. तो अगर आप उसको रजिस्टर नहीं भी करवाते हैं, देन ऑल्सो इट इज अ वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट. आप कभी भी विटनेसेस को बुला के उसे प्रूफ करवा सकते हैं दैट, क्योंकि उसमें एक लाइन लिखी जाती है that the witnesses have signed in the presence of executant and the executant have signed in the presence of the witnesses.
अगर वो एग्जीक्यूटेड जो विटनेस रहे उनकी किसी की डेथ हो गई,
जी सर,
इन दैट केस
सर तभी ये एडवाइस किया जाता है कि विटनेसेस थोड़े से यंग रखे जाएं, बिकॉज ये केसेस होते हैं, ये एक्चुअली केसेस होते हैं. और इफ यू विल कंसीडर माय ओपिनियन, आई विल नेवर से कि विल रजिस्टर नहीं कराई जाए. विल रजिस्टर कराने का ये फायदा है क्योंकि आप रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस जा रहे हो, यू आर गेटिंग योर पिक्चर्स क्लिक्ड, you are getting your signatures done in presence of a registrar, so a dispute is reduced to some risk, is reduced to some extent. अगर ज्यादा से ज्यादा दोनों विटनेस मर जाते हैं तो कम से कम ये तो है कि सब लोग रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस आए थे, फोटोज लगती हैं विल के पीछे, साइन हो रखे हैं, तो एटलीस्ट वो एक अनरजिस्टर्ड विल से बेटर डॉक्यूमेंट है. बाकी दिल्ली में और हर स्टेट में ऐसे डिस्प्यूट्स बहुत आते हैं जहां विटनेसेस की डेथ हो गई है. इवन कुछ केस तो मेरे पास ही ऐसे हैं, तो उसमें हमें प्रॉब्लम तो आती है, लेकिन यही होता है कि हम सर्कमस्टेंशियल एविडेंसेस से लेके आते हैं उन सब चीजों को कि देखो ये विल तो रजिस्टर्ड थी. सेकंड, व्हाट आई सजेस्ट टू माय क्लाइंट्स इज कि आप एक विटनेस में एक डॉक्टर से जरूर साइन कराएं, क्योंकि बाद में जो लीगल एड्स के बीच में डिस्प्यूट होता है वो ये कहते हैं कि ये जो विल थी, दिस वाज आउट ऑफ कोर्शन, और मे बी द एग्जीक्यूटेंट वाज नॉट इन अ राइट स्टेट ऑफ माइंड, या फिर वो ये कह सकते हैं कि ये तो उनसे लव एंड अफेक्शन में करा ली या जोर जबरदस्ती में करा ली. तो दैट डॉक्टर कैन ऑलवेज सर्टिफाई कि नहीं, मैंने जब साइन किया मैंने चीजें असेस करी थी एंड द एग्जीक्यूटेंट वाज इन राइट स्टेट ऑफ माइंड, और मेरे हिसाब से सब चीजें were done out of not out of coercion but out of his consent and his will.
मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ, मैंने जैसे अनरजिस्टर्ड बिल की है
जी सर,
और उसे कई साल हो गए
जी सर,
आफ्टर रिटायरमेंट की थी, और जो दो ऑफिसर थे
जी सर
मेरे ऑफिस के ही, उन दोनों को मैंने साइन करा दिए थे.
जी सर.
तो अब उसको रजिस्टर्ड कराने जाने के लिए तो कई साल पहले करी थी मैंने.
सर आप उसी को,
दोनों अलाइव हैं लेकिन दोनों अलग अलग रहते हैं, काफी दूर रहते हैं.
जी सर, जी सर.
तो उस स्थिति में क्या मेरी बिल मानी जानी चाहिए, नहीं जानी चाहिए? कोई वैसे डिस्प्यूट नहीं है.
हाँ सर, अब उसमें अगर आप उनको बुला लेंगे, क्योंकि जो रजिस्ट्रेशन होता है, रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट का बेसिक जो ग्राउंड है वो यही है कि वो डेट ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन से मानी जाती है रादर देन डेट ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन से. ये आपको ये चीज पता होगी, तो मानी तो तब से जाएगी, लेकिन आप अब उनको विटनेसेस को बुलाओ, इससे अच्छा तो यही है कि आप उसमें, आपके पास ड्राफ्ट हो गए, आप उसमें अपनी डेट चेंज करके दो नए विटनेसेस से करा लीजिए जो आसपास रहते हो और who are also younger in age.
उसको दोबारा कराया जाए.
हाँ सर, क्योंकि एक थोड़ा सा बेटर भी है और दूसरा ये भी है कि कोविड के टाइम पे अब वो कहाँ से आएंगे वो दोनों विटनेसेस.
नहीं, यही तो प्रॉब्लम रजिस्ट्री ऑफिस जाने की है.
नहीं सर, आप उनको घर बुला सकते हैं रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस से. आप मैं आपको बताता हूँ, आप वहाँ अप्लाई कीजिए, ठीक है, और आप उनको बताइएगा दैट आई एम अ सीनियर सिटीजन एंड बिकॉज एंड पैंडेमिक में तो वैसे भी एक्सक्यूज है, तो आप उसमें रजिस्ट्रार के ऊपर कंपल्शन है. देयर इज अ सेक्शन 2930 ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट व्हिच सेज इफ अ पर्सन हु इज एग्जीक्यूटिंग अ डॉक्यूमेंट इज सिक, इन्फर्म और मेंटली अनस्टेबल, देन रजिस्ट्रार हैज टू कम टू हिज होम. अब ये चीज है कि वो स्पीडीली नहीं होगा क्योंकि रजिस्ट्रार की भी प्रायर अपॉइंटमेंट्स होती हैं, हो सकता है 1 महीने बाद आए, 2 महीने बाद आए, लेकिन वो आपको बता के आएंगे. लेकिन फैसिलिटी है कि आपके घर पे ये चीज डॉक्यूमेंट,
आपके हिसाब से फैसिलिटी है, सही है, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से ये वो आते नहीं है.
सर आ जाते हैं वो, देखिए
दूसरी बात ये, क्योंकि मेरी परेशानी ये है कि मेरी वाइफ जो है 2.5 साल से बेड पर है, तो मैं उनको छोड़ के जा नहीं सकता कहीं भी.
जी सर,
ये परेशानी है. तो वो मैंने 6-7 साल पहले, 8 साल पहले करी थी बिल.
जी सर.
अब उस पर 2 लोग साइन भी हैं, सब कुछ है, लेकिन अनरजिस्टर्ड है.
जी सर. विल सर आप ही की है या आपके वाइफ की है?
मेरी है, मतलब मैंने की है वाइफ के नाम में और उसके बाद बच्चों को नाम पे.
बच्चों का. सर आप दिल्ली में रहते हैं?
नहीं, मैं बरेली में रहता हूँ.
आप अच्छा बरेली में रहते हैं.
और डिस्प्यूट कोई नहीं है.
तो सर आप अब क्योंकि देखिए हम विद नो ऑफेंस टू एनी गवर्नमेंट office holder who has been prior office holder who is present on this panel, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसेज में ये सब प्रॉब्लम तो आती हैं कि अपनी सुविधा के हिसाब से काम करते हैं। तो वैसे अगर हम लीगली चलें तो आप बस एक एप्लीकेशन वहाँ लगा सकते हैं कि मुझे विल घर पे रजिस्टर करनी है। हो सकता है वो 2 महीने बाद है, हो सकता है वो 3 महीने बाद है, लेकिन वो आएगा जरूर।
जाना तो पड़ेगा ही ना
सर। बस हाँ, वो तो सर आपके बिहाफ पे कोई भी लगा देगा।
कई किलोमीटर है मेरे घर से।
हाँ सर, फिर तो वो कोई आसपास नियर एंड डियर कोई लगाता है तो वो लगा सकते हैं।
ऐसा कोई नहीं करेगा। मैं समझ रहा हूँ आपकी बात भी, लेकिन पोजीशन ये है ना कि वो कोई भी करना नहीं चाहता। आजकल जो मामला वैसे खराब बहुत ज्यादा चल रहा है।
जी सर।
मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि अगर घर
मेरे बेटे ने ये कहा था कि आप अंडरस्टैंड भी कर रहे हैं तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
हाँ सर, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो तब भी मानी जाएगी आपके। जी सर,
लोगों के बीच में कोई डिस्प्यूट भी नहीं है।
हाँ सर, ये तो इट्स अ बेटर थिंग। और अगर आप उसे रजिस्टर ना भी करवाएं, देन ऑल्सो उसकी सैंक्टिटी मेंटेन रहेगी। इट्स स्टिल अ वैलिड डॉक्यूमेंट, क्योंकि रजिस्ट्रेशन की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है विल के केसेस में। तो अगर आपके बाद भी अगर वो विल आप ऐसे भी छोड़ देते हैं, उसके बेसिस पे भी आपके बच्चे उस प्रॉपर्टी को म्यूटेशन करा सकते हैं आपकी वाइफ के पास। तो कोई उसमें कोई बाढ़ नहीं है या कोई मना नहीं कर सकता उस चीज को।
नहीं, मैंने अभी ये किया हुआ है, जो उनको देना है वो मैंने पहले से बांट रखा है।
जी सर।
सतीश जी, इतनी डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे, एक जेनेरिक क्वेश्चन पूछना, बिकॉज़ दिस बिकम्स टू दिस थिंग डिटेल्ड काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग।
मैंने मैडम पहली बात पूछा है और आपको आई विल नॉट आस्क।
कैन आई आस्क?
नहीं, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि मेन क्वेश्चन के बाद हम लोग वो इतने डिटेल में नहीं आंसर कर सकते, बिकॉज़ दैट बिकम्स अ वेरी पर्सनलाइज्ड। पूरी हिस्ट्री में जाना पड़ता है टू अंडरस्टैंड। सो जेनेरिक क्वेश्चंस हम यहाँ पूछेंगे सो दैट एवरीबॉडी कैन आस्क देयर क्वेश्चंस।
सतीश जी, यू कैन ऑलवेज गेट इन टच विद अस। मैंने नंबर और अपनी वेबसाइट चैट में मैंने दे दिया है, सो यू कैन गेट इन टच विद अस। वी कैन टॉक टू यू अबाउट इट इन डिटेल।
आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन इफ कैन आस्क यू।
Yes sir.
May I ask my question, please?
Subhash ji, can we just
charges for magistrate to come home if he comes?
Sir, it depends on state to state. They are dependent on state to state. Those charges are available on the website of sir. I only know about the Delhi government. So yes, the charges are available on the Delhi government website. But if you want, अगर आप किसी और पर्टिकुलर स्टेट का बता रहे हैं तो हम आपको चार्जेस बता सकते हैं। और we can check and we can let you know.
नहीं, दिल्ली में क्या चार्जेस है? अगर दिल्ली में आप बुलाते हैं, से 10 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस का क्या चार्जेस है?
सर, उसमें एक वो पूरी शीट बनी हुई है। इफ यू वांट आई कैन फॉरवर्ड इट टू यू। वो
अंदाजा नहीं दे सकते
सर? नहीं सर, इतने नहीं है। हाँ सर, इट्स समवेयर अराउंड 1000 to 1500।
ये है कि what is the difference between registration and mutation? Registration and mutation are different.
Sir, registration of a document is आप registration को आप ऐसे समझिए। देखिए, म्यूटेशन का तो है कि 2 स्टेप्स हैं। पहला, एक रजिस्ट्रेशन हो गया और उसके बाद म्यूटेशन हुई। लेट्स से मैंने कोई प्रॉपर्टी परचेज करी फ्रॉम मिस्टर एक्स, ठीक है सर। मेरे पास सेल डीड है, मैं उस सेल डीड को लेके, लेट्स से दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज बिलोंगिंग टू अ डीडीए, इट्स विद इन द परव्यू ऑफ डीडीए। तो मैं वो सेल डीड, जो भी कन्वेंस डीड है, वो लेके अपने कंसर्न डीडी ऑफिस जाऊंगा और उनको बोलूंगा कि इसमें मिस्टर एक्स का नाम है, ये रही सेल डीड, ये उसके बाद के डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं। This was the initial document which was registered in the name of Mr. X. Now there is a document registered in my name, and kindly now mutate this property in my name. So mutation is only a change of ownership based on documents.
Okay, very good.
Rashmi ji, we'll take your question now.
Hi,
Yes,
Milan.
Yes,
thank you for so much of information.
No,
I have a very different kind of a question.
Yes,
I am the single owner of my property where I stay in Ghaziabad.
Okay,
And
ma'am.
I have also written my will. I have 2 daughters. They are in Canada and Singapore, and
Okay.
they look after me very well. And I'm also very self-sufficient. My question is that the will that I have written is done by a lawyer, and everything is done the way it should be done. My
Okay.
question is that after my demise, when the children
Yes.
come from abroad, do they have to show do any formalities regarding the property, or they just take it over? That's my
Ma'am, no. There are some formalities. They'll have to first show your deed. There must be some kind of document, na, which is in your name, your sale deed. They'll have to show their your sale deed, the will, then their Aadhaar cards. and they'll also have to bring the witnesses as well for further clarification. And based on that, the things can be, the ownership can be changed.
But don't you think that the person who takes charge of the house and starts staying there, the property belongs if they have the papers of the property?
Ma'am, if I purchase a property from somebody, I'll have to inform the concerned department that now I am the owner. Previously the papers are in your name. So anyway, I have to inform the concerned authorities कि अब मैं owner बन गया हूँ, अब आप मेरे नाम पे इसको, मैम mutation is only a change of ownership, that's it. Then they don't require कि आप ये लाओ वो लाओ, एक basic document, you only have to show a chain of transfer. First sale deed, the will, the Aadhaar card, and the witnesses detail, that's it.
And show it to whom?
Ma'am, the concerned department where you are getting it mutated. In your case, it's going to be Ghaziabad Development Authority.
Thank you so much.
आधार कार्ड किसका होना चाहिए? बच्चों का होना चाहिए या जिसकी प्रॉपर्टी?
मैम, बच्चों का as well as अगर executant का भी available है तो अच्छा है.
नहीं, पर वो अगर बाहर है और वो वहाँ के सिटीजन बन गए हैं तो they won't be having the Aadhaar card of India.
तो मैम आप उसमें जो will है उसमें आप OCI नंबर मेंशन कर सकते हैं. ओवरसीज सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया उनका नंबर होगा ना एक, आप वो मेंशन कर सकते हैं that Miss A is my daughter bearing OCI number this. So upon your demise, they can always show that yes, this OCI number pertains to me and I am the legal heir of this property.
What is that OCI number?
Ma'am, overseas citizen of India.
Okay. Their number.
Yeah, their number. Ma'am, any identification of theirs can be mentioned in the will.
Okay,
thank you so much, Millie.
Okay.
Any other questions?
सर, ये DDA फ्लैट है जो पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी पे है मेरे नाम, उसको अगर फ्री होल्ड कराना है तो क्या करें?
मैम, कौन सी डेट पे पावर ऑफ अटॉर्नी बनी हुई है?
वो बनी हुई है 95 की.
ओके मैम, आप इसमें जो भी आपका कंसर्न DDA जो आपका लगता है, जो भी अथॉरिटी लगती है, आप वहां जाके उसको आप ये दिखा के, एक फॉर्म होता है फ्री होल्ड करवाने का, उसके साथ 2 सर्टिफिकेट लगते हैं, एक अंडरटेकिंग लगती है और एक इंडेमनिटी फॉर्म लगता है, वो आप फिल करके अपने नाम में करवा सकते हैं, तो वो फ्री होल्ड हो जाएगा.
सर, मैं वो 2 साल पहले दे के आई थी, कोई रिप्लाई नहीं किया.
मैम, वो फिर कोविड स्टार्ट हो गया ना, इसलिए इफ यू वांट हम उसमें फॉलो अप करवा सकते हैं अगर आपको चाहिए तो.
हाँ, मैं कराना है मुझे.
मैडम, आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
आप अपना नंबर दे दीजिए, मुझे कराना है.
चैट बॉक्स में ऑलरेडी स्नेहलता जी दिया हुआ है, यू कैन जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट द चैट बॉक्स.
ओके
जी मैम,
already been shared, everything is shared. Any other question?
Are you looking into RERA matters also?
Sir, only UP RERA and Haryana RERA.
Haryana RERA, you looking into that?
Yes, sir.
So we can discuss with you that thing separately.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, we can do that.
Because case is already in progress.
Okay, sir. It's at what stage?
It is in execution stage.
Okay. Which builder?
Builder is Raheja Developers.
Okay, Raheja Developers already facing a lot of heat from the Supreme Court.
No, it has to face, because he is already a fraudster.
Correct.
For the last 10 years, he is delaying the progress. There is no progress at all.
Correct, sir. And I don't know if you are aware or not, they have already filed an insolvency proceeding, which are stayed.
Filed what proceeding?
Sir, insolvency proceedings.
Insolvency proceedings.
Yes, sir.
So he is going to declare that insolvent, then what to do?
But NCLT is not accepting that. So that's sir. So that's a very open-ended bracket for the buyers. These kind of
and RERA, Haryana RERA, as usual, keeps on adjourning. Now the judgment is coming to August because of the COVID is one of the excuses.
Correct, sir. And sir, Haryana RERA, this authority was also lying vacant for the 6 months prior to the COVID. The president was not there, so might be another reason for the delay.
Now the panel is complete. They have all the 3 members, plus one chairman.
Okay, sir. So yes, at least we can wait for this pandemic to end, and we can look at we can have a brief of your documents, and we can reach out to you.
Okay, can I talk to you separately sometime on this number?
Yes, absolutely, sir.
Sir,
Absolutely.
I would just like to tell you that we have a special coupon code for EMOHA members.
I think I got it.
EMOHA will be able to explain you this thing. So when you come on the website, when you are purchasing the consultation minutes, you can just put in that coupon code and you can avail a 20% discount on the minutes that you are purchasing to talk to the lawyer. I have left my number as well. Any difficulty, I am always reachable.
Right. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, I want to ask a question.
Anji Manju ji.
हाँ, मेरे प्रॉपर्टी के पेपर हो गए हैं, मिसलेट हो गए हैं, तो उसका क्या प्रोसीजर होगा?
मैम कौन सी स्टेट में है आप?
मैं दिल्ली में हूँ।
मैम आपकी क्या चीज खोई है? सेल डीड खोई है? क्या चीज खोई है?
मेरी पूरी फाइल खो गई है प्रॉपर्टी की, कुछ भी नहीं है मेरे पास।
नहीं मैम, आपके पास मतलब डॉक्यूमेंट था क्या ओनरशिप का? सेल डीड थी, गिफ्ट डीड थी, क्या था?
मैंने अपार्टमेंट भी बुक कराया था, वो फ्लैट था, तो उसके पेपर थे।
मैम इसमें ऐसा होता है कि एक आपको बुक नंबर मिला होगा एट द टाइम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन, बुक नंबर, वॉल्यूम नंबर, और किस रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस से इशू हुई है, तो हम वहां से डिटेल निकलवा सकते हैं। अगर वो आप डिटेल्स हमें आप दे दोगे तो हम उसमें निकलवा सकते हैं, बट हमारे पास कंप्लीट डिटेल्स होनी चाहिए कि रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस कौन सा। हाँ जी, क्योंकि हम रैंडमली आपके डिस्ट्रिक्ट के रजिस्ट्रार के ऑफिस जाएंगे ना, हम रैंडमली किसी के भी नहीं जा सकते।
अच्छा, तो उसके मतलब उसके वो चाहिए, क्योंकि सोसाइटी में उन्होंने जो जमीन ली थी, तो उसमें हमसे मतलब वो पूरे सोसाइटी के मेंबर बने थे हम, और तब ली थी। उसके बाद में वो प्रॉपर्टी हमारे नाम ट्रांसफर हुई है, ये हमने कराई है।
ओके, हाँ, तो मैम वो कोई उसका जो रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर होगा पहला, या आपने जब उनसे परचेज करी होगी तो थ्रू पीओए हुई होगी आई गेस। अगर पुरानी है, 2005 से पहले की है, क्योंकि
2005 से 1-2 साल पहले किया, 2003 से।
हाँ, क्योंकि 2005 में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पीओए से ट्रांसफर ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी बैन कर दी थी।
अच्छा,
हाँ, तो आप हमें अगर नंबर दिलवा देंगे जो उसका
तो वो सोसाइटी से मिल जाएगा हमको?
हाँ जी मैम, बिल्कुल, वो आप प्रोवाइड करवा देंगे लीगल कार्ड को, तो हम आपके जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स है उसका जेरोक्स उसी रजिस्ट्रार से निकलवा सकते हैं।
तो हम आपको कांटेक्ट करना पड़ेगा हमें? आपको?
जी मैम, चैट बॉक्स में मेनका जी का नंबर है, आप उनको बता सकते हैं और डिटेल शेयर कर सकते हैं, तो उसमें कर दिया जाए। हाँ जी।
अच्छा, एक्सक्यूज मी, आर यू बेस्ड इन गुड़गांव?
Sir, I'm dealing selective matters in Gurgaon, not complete. But yes, some reference can be made, and we have lawyers in Gurgaon as well.
You don't have an office in Gurgaon?
Menka, if you would like to answer that also, thodi clarity in how you have your...
Yes, we have lawyers all over India, so you can discuss.
Then you will nominate a lawyer once I approach you?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, but no specific office in Gurgaon, no?
Sir, office as in legal card office or the lawyer?
Legal card office. Legal card office.
So we are working from home because of COVID. We are not.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll contact you. Then you will nominate a lawyer for me in Gurgaon.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Right. Anybody else? We can take one last question. Yes, Mr. Ved. आप म्यूट पे हो।
The property.
Yes, sir.
Made will to the children. Is that taxable?
No, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to pay any stamp duty on that, because it's for will you don't have to pay a stamp duty. For gift you have to pay a stamp duty.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
No other questions?
If you can just tell me one more question, do you deal in labor thing also, because a person of the level of director falls in the labor code?
Sir, the person of the level of director, we are talking about this we are talking about the government entity or a private entity?
No, private entity which is not paying my salary for 14 months.
For 14 months. Sir, you can see labor codes have a threshold. not a person of your stature and practically of your income level doesn't fall within the labor code.
What is the remedy then? What is the remedy?
You can either file a civil case for recovery, or you can always go for industrial tribunal as well.
And companies already gone into NCLT.
Okay, companies already, sir. Then I'll suggest you make a representation in NCLT, so a further order can be made in your favor, because anyway you'll have to apprise the NCLT now that this issue is also pending.
Case is already in progress in NCLT. Nothing is proceeding. Adjournments after adjournments.
Sir, probably because of the COVID.
Because of COVID. No hearing is taking place.
Yes, sir. In Delhi, for the next 15 days, the courts are permanently shut. Not even the virtual hearings are being undertaken.
Mm-hmm. Okay, on that also we can approach you.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Thank you.
Ma'am, I want to ask. Ma'am, I want to ask last question, please. Can I?
Okay, this is the last question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Thakkar.
I'm in Noida, and I have a will, and I have made my 2 children as a co-owner of my property after my this thing. I want to know how it will be executed when the time comes. Like they have to one has to relinquish his part of the property to the other one, and then it will be done, or how is it done?
They can enjoy the property to 50% extent. If the property is physically divisible.
No, it is not physically divisible.
Then they can share the total consideration after sale.
So that means they have to sell the property.
Correct, sir. Or they can simply do one thing. Both of them can mutate this property in their name, and after that one can relinquish to the other, and the other can pay his share in terms of money.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. So that means they have to, the property will be mutated in the joint names.
Correct, sir.
And then one of them has to relinquish it, and the other one can do whatever they feel like.
Correct, sir. Correct.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Welcome.
Excuse me.
So,
I have a question. Can I ask one question?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question, but very quickly, if you want to ask, but please, whenever we say the last question, that should be the last question, because then we go over time. So, but very quickly, please ask.
How the property can be gifted to children? How does that work?
Ma'am, I'll not suggest gifting, because that would involve a stamp duty of 4 to 6% depending upon the donee. Yes, because that would not be of a very useful, not going to be a very useful execution of property. I'll suggest you make a will.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That would save you a stamp duty of 4 to 6%.
Oh, okay.
But
can they be sort of added on to the?
Absolutely.
How does that work?
You can till that time you are alive, during your lifetime, you can make n number of changes to your will.
No, I'm not talking of will. I'm just talking, to make them partners in the property.
You can do one thing. You can whom do you are planning to give the property to?
Sorry, I couldn't get you.
Whom do you are planning to give your property to? Your children or grandchildren?
I'm sorry, your voice is not coming.
He's asking if you have given your property to your grandchildren or your children. Your will is in whose name? The grandchildren? Mrs. Vora?
He cannot hear.
That's
okay.
I couldn't hear anything.
All right.
That's all right.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to the end of today's session. And thank you so much, Milind, for this very insightful session, and for answering all the queries and the questions raised regarding various things. And ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned by Menka, you can all reach out to Legal Cart There is a website, you can go on that, and just for Emoha elders, if you add the code Emoha20, which is already put on the chat, you will get a 20% discount on that. The process as described by Menka is the fact that if you call up, if you go online, you have to buy some minutes, so maybe whatever number of minutes and all that, then they assign a lawyer to you, and then you can, for those many minutes, you can talk to the lawyer. So Menka, am I right in that?
Yes, so the process is such
Menka, I
that,
can't see you.
my video is on.
1 second. Yeah, now I can see.
Yeah. So the process is such that if you go on the website and you go on the minutes and you select what minutes you want, there are 4 options: 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and 60 minutes. So आपके convenience के हिसाब से आप minutes select कर सकते हैं. वहाँ पे आपको एक coupon code डालना होगा Emoha20, and then you can purchase those minutes. Once you purchase the minutes, आपके पास एक number आएगा, and you can call on that number, and a lawyer will answer your call, and he'll give you the consultation. अगर आपको specifically, if somebody wants to get in touch with Advocate Milind, we can do that as well. We can arrange a call for that also.
So I hope that makes the process clear to everyone. So thank you so much, Milind, and thank you so much, Menka, for being here and giving this very, very insightful session on topics which are much related, and a lot of queries and questions are always there. And like you saw, one question leads to the other because there are so many loopholes, so many questions, and jaise aapne bataya, maybe the processes do not actually happen like that because courts and all these have their own ways of doing things. So but now that we can ask anything, and you are available 24/7, which is a big help. So normally by a particular time we all close down, so anytime anybody requires to go to them, please feel free. So thank you so much once again, and we hope to have you again here with some different topic, which is again going to be very, very helpful for all the elders present here.
Looking forward. Thank you, Milind. Thank you, Koli.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here. And Menka, thank you so much for, kind of doing it despite the fact that you were traveling. And you mentioned that it's going to be difficult, but yet you have been here throughout.
No,
so
it's
thank
a
you
pleasure.
so much. And really glad to have you both here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we end today's session. Thank you so much for being part of it. And tomorrow morning, we will see you at 8 o'clock sharp for a physiotherapy session. And evening, of course, we have a dietitian session. But tomorrow, 12 o'clock, we will also have Dr. Anurag here, who will be talking about self-care in COVID. We have seen a recent increase in things. So whatever we can do to help, because like we know, the infrastructure is quite broken down at this point of time. So so whatever help we can give ourselves, so he's going to be giving some tips and all of that. So please do join that session so that we all can take care of ourselves. It's been specially planned for you all. So please do try and come, and please do inform the other people also, because it is going to be helpful to each and every one of us here, whether we are young, old, whatever our ages might be. So small tips which would keep us safe and healthy. So with that, thank you so much, everyone, and take care of yourselves and be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.